Hi everybody. Sorry it's been so long. I had a lot of life stuff going on. So we were dealing with sickness in the house. It's been a lot this school year, and then my mother-in-law was in the hospital. And my son's had daily therapy. He has autism, so they're doing it in the home since he's not at school. So I've been doing with all of that, but I did find time to read at night or during his sessions because they work with him. So while watching them, I was reading. So I did finish this book that I told you about in the last video. Um, it is a good read. For me, at first I thought it was kind of slow because I wanted to see, you know, more about her and what was going on, and it seemed like it was just a lot of talk about food. But if you stop and read it, it's really how she associates food with different parts of her life and what's going on. So that is one thing to look for in this book. Every chapter is named after a food. Let's see if they named them. Like, see, shepherd's pie, egg fried rice, camellia tea, rosewater, Turkish delight, rice pudding. Every chapter was a food item. And so also what I found interesting about this book, and it seems to be a theme of these books that I keep finding at the dollar store or that's picked for me, is that her parents are split up, well, kind of off and on in the book, which also happens, my growing up, my parents were split up and then got remarried. So we had that kind of in common in here. She has a sister that something happens to her that gets her thinking about her way of eating and her lack of exercise and her health, where no, she doesn't want to give up her food, but she also realizes that because of what happens to her sister, that she needs to be, more active, more using her body, her muscles, and, just be part of life instead of just constant food and not thinking or worried about anything else. So I really like that part, is how she got to the point where she finally understood that she needed like a balance of both and not just food all the time. And so yeah, it ended up being a really good book. I kind of wanted more from the ending because it kind of like abruptly end of, her, where her family was at and what she thought about, her body and her relationship with her mother and her father and her sister and how she was finally happy. But I kind of wanted to find out what happened to her family members because, major things had happened in the book. So, but I found it a really good read. So then the other dollar store book, my daughter picked this one out. So I read this in 2 days. It's about a dog. Yes, it sounds kind of funny. But his owners meet through adopting him and they start dating. And then, of course, things happen and they split up. So they both love the dog so much they decided to share the dog, kind of. The guy gets him during the week and then the woman on the weekends because the guy's home because he's a writer, and then the woman's an editor, so she works a lot during the week and has the weekends off. So that's how it worked out. And the dog it's kind of cute because they want you to see it through the dog's eyes and what's going on. And the dog is trying to get them back together, kind of like a modern, like an animal version of Parent Trap or whatever. But that didn't work out like he thought. And then he finds out that maybe they weren't meant to be, but they are meant to be loved. And so, of course, his attempts didn't go as planned, but the guy and the girl that have joint custody of him end up with other people and being happy. So it's kind of a cute book to see, a dog trying to get his owners back together. So, but it's not really a kid's read because it does talk about how he's hiding under a bed and he hears and smells adult issues. So it might be a cute animal read, but definitely not for kids. So those are my two dollar store ones. My next dollar store one that I'm going to be reading, I didn't even read much of the inside yet. So this will be my next one I do a review on. My husband came home with this one. So yeah, this is my next dollar store one. So for the dollar store ones, I think they're really cute reads for $1.25. They're, you know, quick, fun, life relatable reads. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I would recommend them. Then of course this one is next, and I might, depending on what I think of it, my friend said that I might be able to pass it on to her daughter who is in band. So I'm going to be reading this, and she said let her know what I think of it and then let her daughter know and see if she wants to read it. So there's that one. And then I read this one. I have some stuff going on in my life that I thought, you know, stuff I'm battling with and going through. I thought this would be cute, you know, a woman who goes through something and ends up being her own hero. It's a lot of small poems about what happens through her life, and it's not like full chapters of what happened during that time or anything, just a glimpse into what happened. And you can kind of piece it together, and sometimes there's just a poem you're like, I wish there was more of that poem or more information reading on that part. But it was a really good read and really emotional reading because it had a lot of trauma and childhood issues that she talks about and how she got through them. So yeah, this is a very good read. I'd recommend it. It says, once upon a time, the princess rose from the ashes. Her dragon lovers made of her and crowned herself the mother F queen of herself. And that's a happily ever after. That's one of the things I really liked. So, another good read, very quick because it's only, let's see. Sorry, it's 193 pages. So, very quick but good read. And then I finally finished Population 1. I really enjoyed it. His views just kept getting more depth of what he thought about life and thinking of the future, and he doesn't really worry about the future or what's going on. He just sees it as, you know, another challenge, another thing to, you know, be a hero with and deal with. So I really like that. And he talks about, always reflects back to school in his childhood and how he uses that to keep going through life. And in this one, he is young, so it doesn't say, you know, what career or anything he ends up in, just that, you know, finishing school and what he looks back on and enjoys the most, and how he still refers to everything as the universe and the planets and, you know, how they relate. So, and I really enjoyed this book because of my son having autism. I can, you know, try to see what they might be thinking or going through. And sometimes he talks about things he keeps to himself because he's worried about what other people say, but at the same time, he's unique and he's himself, so he shouldn't have to worry about what people say. So he kind of goes back and forth a few times. But yes, a very good read for if you have a child, a spouse, or anybody with autism to read this. I did order another book review of a autism child that's 13, I think. So I just went to Amazon, kind of pick a few, and only had enough to get one, so I picked the one with the best rating, and I'm gonna be getting that soon. I think it's tomorrow. It should be coming. So I also will be going over that, and also look him up. I think he has a Facebook and a website. So I really enjoyed this one, like I said, because it gave me more insight if feelings, or what can trigger feelings, what might not trigger feelings, how some things most people would react to but he didn't react to, and how he viewed, relationships with his peers, and a girl he liked, and his mom and dad, and how each of them are different, and he felt that, well, if they didn't keep in contact with me, are they my enemies, So he had a really drastic views on some things, and some other things he just like, that's what it is, so it happens, and, they have more important things to worry about, and then he'll say, like, ice cream. So it was really a really good view of the differences. So, recommend. So yeah, all in all, they were all good reads, like I said, except that one was kind of slow, but like I had to stop to think to myself. It was more me, because I was supposed to be reading about as a 16-year-old writing about what she's going through. So of course their ideas and views are going to be different, and not as like dramatic or life altering. Well, to us they're different. Of course it might be them, but not to us. So I'm like, hurry up, what is supposed to be so life-changing that they say in the book, and that she went through. But I had to stop and realize, she's trying to tell, and leading up to it, and how she got her view of why she was bigger, and, what her thought on health, and, how she dealt with everything. So, yeah, that was good. So, I'll show you again. Population 1. The princess saves herself in this one. This is my next one, so I'll be doing more on that one. I have another one also that I'm reading. I kind of think I have book ADHD. I have to read like 2 at a time. It's called The Midnight Library. I know so many people have read it, and somebody that I watch on YouTube have recommended it. So I got it a while back, so I'm going to read that while reading this. And then, like I said, very good book, but don't think it's for young people because of some adult things in it. And this one about the 16-year-old. So this would be a good teen read also, because she kind of relates to what they're going through. Yeah, that's my book reviews, just kind of fast, because my children are on spring break, and they've been really extremely running off the walls, because they're not at school to run off any energy, so they're home running off the energy. But if there's one that you want to know more about, or the inside where it says where you can get it, or information about the author, or anything you want to know about it, just ask and I'll answer below. So we have another dollar store one coming up, and the book that I bought a while back. Let me know what you're reading and what kind of books you enjoy, or if you just do different kinds depending on your mood, or if you do short books, long books. I just want to know what you're reading. So if you feel, oh my goodness, feel free to let me know what you're reading and what you enjoy. So, jumbled brain is what happens when you read too much at once and deal with too much at once. Life. So take care all, and enjoy your book. Thanks. Bye.